has literally changed my life and certainly the lives of thousands of other people. But that's how I came to this company. I came through their flagship product called Pro Tandem. And as fate would have it and prayers would have it, 5 years later, my friend Gabe Pearson came to me with a business opportunity. And I was looking rather desperately at that point to get out of the news business. We had hit that horrible economy, right? Everybody was losing money. We were all getting our salaries cut. And I was stressed to the max. I have 2 foundations that I also run, in addition to the fact that I had a full-time job and 2 teenagers at home. And I told my husband one night, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to work 24/7 and for less money. And you know, when you're working for corporate America, who gets to decide how much money you make? They do, right? And I said, there's got to be something out there. But I'm going to be honest with you. Here I was, at the time I was 50 years old, and I'm thinking, what could I possibly do in life at this age that could give me the same type of income that I was bringing in for being a news anchor for 28 years? I didn't think that was really possible. But I certainly prayed about it every day. And Gabe, who I've known since high school, called me and said, I want to talk to you about an opportunity. And at the time, I'm thinking, yeah, I need an opportunity like I need a hole in the head, right? And I basically told him that. I thought, I need one more thing, right? But when Gabe started talking to me about Pro Tandem and then about LifeVantage, my mind just lit up. And those of you who know me know that I'm sort of type A. When I decide that I want to do something or I decide that something is worthwhile, I'll work very hard for that. And I went home and I told my husband, I said, I haven't had this type of feeling about something since I went to start my marathon. And for those of you who are local, are most of you local that are here? I started a marathon almost 10 years ago now that almost everybody in the world told me would never be successful. And I said, I don't know, I just have a vision. I just see that it's going to happen. And to this date, we bring in more than 10,000 people a year to run from all over the world to help us try to end breast cancer. And I bring that up simply because all you have to really do with this is want it. And that's exactly how LifeVantage is. LifeVantage offers us every single tool to completely change our lives in a positive way. You know, my husband and I were joking the other day. He bless his heart, he still works full time. That's my next goal in life. My next goal in life is when I get to Pro 10, he's out of there, man. We were walking around the kitchen, and I said, "What day is it?" Oh gosh, he said, "You know, that's just mean." and I said, "You know, I don't always even know what day it is because I don't have to keep this set, you know, oh gosh, I got to be in by this time and I got to be out by that time." And he said, you know, it's so great to see the look on your face and the stress that's been lifted from your life. And I share that because I want you to understand that this is something I never knew anything about. I've never done direct sales in my life ever. I have no experience with anything besides journalism and anchoring the news. But after I was diagnosed with breast cancer some years ago, health became far more important to me. It tends to happen when you get a life-threatening disease. You know, then you start to think, you know, probably that health thing is pretty important. And so the idea that I have the opportunity to share products that are so healthy for people, that can really change their health, and at the same time offer people an opportunity to change their lives, to fire their boss, to be the masters of their own destiny. And that may sound dramatic, but honestly it's not. It's really not. For a very small investment, don't be fooled into thinking because the investment into this business is so small that it's not a multi-million-dollar opportunity. It is a multi-million-dollar opportunity to create generational wealth for your family. So the way we always like to start these meetings, and hopefully most of you have seen it, but if you haven't, please pay close attention either way. We like to start with how we learned about this product through an ABC News investigation. How many companies do you think would like to have an ABC News investigation validating their flagship product? This is not a paid advertisement. The reason that ABC News did this investigation that I'm about to show you is because of Dr. Joe McCord. He was really the draw. Dr. Joe McCord is the father of free radical biology. Free radicals are what cause our bodies to age. Okay? They cause all sorts of problems. And Dr. McCord had been studying free radicals and came up with the first ever product that actually would lower the amount of oxidative stress or free radical damage in our bodies. And so ABC News paid attention to that because of who Dr. McCord was. And he was very well respected. At the same time, what is the job of an investigative news broadcast? To go in and try to poke holes in things, right? And I promise you, having been in that business for 30 years, that's exactly what they thought they were going to do. And by the time they were finished with that investigative report, it was completely the opposite. And so that's what opened my eyes and the eyes of thousands of other people to this wonderful company. So let's start out with a short 5-minute clip of that video, and then I'll come back, explain a little science, and then go into the business. Does that sound good?
On turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life.
It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig. Dr. McCord, okay. I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist.
This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company.
They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body,
Leading to disease?
leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells. But as we get older, some of those toxic radicals overwhelm our enzymes and wreak their havoc. For a long time, scientists thought that antioxidant vitamins like C and E would lower it, but they don't.
It's turned out in just the last 5 years or so, we see that they're not good enough tools. They're not powerful enough.
But this pill, he says, is powerful enough. In fact, many times more powerful.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment.
Doesn't taste bad.
It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes. So you can see the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, Taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect, frankly, in a newborn or a very young child.
So, just what's in this seemingly incredible pill? Well, actually, its roots are very humble. Protandim is a combination of 5 plant ingredients. Some you may know: green tea or turmeric, a spice used in Indian cooking. Others, Withania somnifera and Silybum marianum, are more exotic.
There's a huge human experience with each of these ingredients. They've been used often in traditional medicine in India and China and many other cultures, in some cases centuries and centuries.
And so, ancient Eastern healing and modern Western medicine may soon be working together. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks,
Even mental disease.
yes,
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
Dr. James Crapo with the National Jewish Medical Center in Denver is also researching Protandim for the company.
We make no claims about curing any disease or preventing any disease. We hope that when enough studies are done, perhaps such claims might be able to be made in the future.
Clinical studies to assess Protandim in both diabetes and heart disease should start in 3 to 4 months. But what about everyone's old nemesis, aging itself? Well, it's all about balance between the good antioxidants and those toxic free radicals.
And if we can tip that back, we may reduce some of the bad side effects of aging. Why my skin is different than that of a baby, for example. That's a very obvious part of the aging process.
But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result, my level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Would you suggest I keep taking this supplement?
I would. I can't guarantee it's going to extend your life. I can't guarantee it's going to eliminate any diseases or cure any diseases.
But we do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. And I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
Major universities and government agencies initiated and continue self-funded studies following the AB.
What you started to hear there, and it's a little outdated, so I'll update you, is that we have so many people now studying this product. When that ABC News report came out, there were a couple of studies that had been completed on Protandim. Now there are almost 2 dozen that have been completed, many of them peer-reviewed. You have 28 universities plus studying this product. You have everybody from the American Heart Association to the Mayo Clinic looking at this science, which is called NRF2 activation. So really what should excite you about this, one from a health perspective, is we finally have something we can put in our bodies that is clinically proven to reduce oxidative stress. That's never been out there before. We've never had anything that was clinically proven to do that. That's exciting. From a business perspective, what should excite you is that there's nothing else out there that does what this does. And you have an opportunity that this company has put in front of you that really, the compensation that they offer you for sharing this, and now many other wonderful products, which I'll get into, is really better than anything you're going to find out there in the direct sales market. So that's what I want you to look at tonight. The combination of the fact that we have groundbreaking products with a breakthrough science. We're a publicly traded company, which is really a huge check mark for validity. With all these companies that are out there, and I'm not going to down any other company, but the fact that we're publicly traded, which is so rare, really puts us in a rarefied place within this industry, and that's exciting. That should be exciting to you if you're looking at this as a business. And then the fact that truly we are on the ground floor of opportunity. There is only a handful of people sharing this in the great scheme of things so far around this world. And for those of you in this room You know, there are only a few times in your life, really they say 2 times in your life that you have an opportunity to get into something before the wave hits. And this could be that opportunity for you. I know it was for me. So I hope you will keep a very open mind to that tonight. This is a product and a company that is incredibly unique. You know, I was talking to somebody at a meeting the other day, and I said I started to sound like, you know, like your grandmother used to sound when she was telling me that I had to walk to school in the snow, uphill, both ways, bare feet. You know, I built my business largely on Protandem. And that's a $40 product. Built a pretty big business that way. That's how remarkable that product is. But now, in addition to Protandem, which basically gives the body the ability to make the enzymes that heal the body, we now have, based on some wonderful studies that were done at LSU on skin cancer, the company developed a skincare regimen. It just came out several months ago. It is a topical version of that wonderful little yellow pill. And I'm going to tell you what's tremendous about it. I can sit here and tell you all day long that if you're breathing, you're aging. And if you're aging, you're leaving yourself more susceptible to disease. And that's why you need that little yellow pill in your body. But if I can give you something to put on your face with the same exact science and the same ingredients, more or less, to put on your skin, and you would start to see a dramatic difference in a few days, that gets your attention, right? It's a wonderful way to explain to people the science of nerve 2 activation. So I'm not going to get deeply into that tonight, but I do want you to understand why this is different than anything else out there. Because some of you are saying, well, I've been approached with vitamins, or I've been approached with skincare, or this is so different. And the reason is because, as I said, it's a breakthrough science, okay? All we've had prior to Protandem to try to fight the aging process were direct antioxidants, like your vitamin C or vitamin E. Your antioxidant-rich foods, which are great for vitamins and minerals. They're not going to do anything to reduce free radical damage. And the reason is because they're a direct antioxidant, they can only kill free radicals one at a time. One and done. One and done. They're excreted. You're making hundreds of millions of free radicals every day. Every time you breathe, you're getting millions of free radicals. So think of the aging process in your body as the rusting process. That's basically what's happening because you consume air and food and other things, okay? What Protandem does is it staves off the rust. And the reason is because instead of being a direct antioxidant that only kills one free radical at a time, Protandem, because it activates your own DNA's ability to create its own enzymes, is far more effective. Instead of taking your antioxidants, now you're making your antioxidants. And one of your own antioxidant enzymes kills 1 million free radicals per second for 11 straight days before it's excreted. That's really the only science you need to remember about Protandem. That it is far and away more effective than any direct antioxidant you can take. And we're the only ones that have that. We're the only ones that have that science. And I'm going to tell you right now, the pharmaceutical companies are trying to chase us down with that science. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Because when drugs come out, they'll be very expensive, and they'll be for disease. We have something that really we can give people and say, get healthier, be healthier. And that's exciting to me. The skincare regimen, same thing. It will make your skin healthier. It's a 4-step process that will improve the quality of your skin. What's beautiful about this company is every single product they've come out with, they've connected clinical research with it. And they're not the only ones studying it. That's really, I want you to understand that's rare, okay? Even with the skincare regimen, there's a clinical trial associated with it. Go and look at those pictures. You will see dramatic results, and you can't doctor a clinical trial. You will see dramatic differences in people's skin. And it's a wonderful way to share nerve 2 activation. Nobody else has that. For those of you in the crowd that are a little bit younger, and even for those of us who are not so young, the company has just come out just a couple of weeks ago with a product called Axio. And it's an energy product. Now, I don't know how many of you actually drink energy drinks? You do now. You do, but how many of you did before? Okay, not many. There's not many of us. I see you, Holly. I see you, girl. I got my 2 young people in the room over here. That was no offense to any of you in the room. But certainly the millennials have become really almost addicted to energy drinks. And they're horrible. They're horrible for you. So what LifeVantage has done is it has created healthy energy. If you count coffee, energy is a $100 billion business. LifeVantage has given us so many tools now to share so many wonderful things with people. And we're not done. There will be other things. But what I want you to understand is now you have the little yellow pill, which is still astounding. You have a skincare regimen. You have a dog product that does the same thing for dogs that Protandim does for people. And you have energy products that frankly, now I don't go a day without drinking. There's one that's fast energy that I will take before my runs or my workouts. And then there's one that's a long-lasting release that I'll take for the rest of the day. And I'm going to tell you what the greatest part about it is it really improves your focus and it makes you feel good. It just makes you feel good. And there's no drugs in this. It's all natural stuff. All natural stuff. It's even artificially sweetened and artificially flavored. I'm not artificial. Naturally sweetened and naturally flavored. Get that? Naturally sweetened and naturally flavored. Not artificial. There's no artificial sweeteners. I know everybody's looking at me like, what are you saying, Donna? It's been a long month, folks. So much for the mental clarity, right? Had some right before I got here. So this is a company on the move, and we are still a very young company. That's what I want you to understand and take away tonight. So many people are still joining the Amways of the world, the Mary Kays of the world, the companies that have been out there for 30 or 40 years, and they're making money. But if you can get yourself involved in a direct sales company that is publicly traded like we are, and go do your research. There's only a handful of them. Out of the thousands that are out there, there's a handful that are publicly traded. If you can get your hands on a business like this, with a groundbreaking science like we have, on the ground floor of opportunity, you can make generational wealth for yourself and your family. But you have to treat it like a business. You have to treat it like a business and not like a hobby. That's the one thing that I always tell my team. You know, some of us are not good without having a boss kicking us in the butt. And that's the truth. And what you have to decide for yourself is, how motivated are you to change your life? Because if you are motivated to change your life, and you will share this wonderful opportunity with at least 15 people every month, and that's here, that's at coffee, that's at a home meeting, whatever it is, you will grow this business. And you are in such a wonderful position to grow. I mentioned earlier that I think sometimes people don't realize what an enormous moneymaker this is, because really in terms of buying a business, it's almost nothing. How many of you in here have ever owned your own business? Anybody want to share with me how much it costs you to do that? Just give me a shout. 1,000. How much? Give me an idea. $75,000. Now you can see where if you invest $75,000 in a business, you're thinking, man, you know, I better work hard with this and get my investment back. It's going to take you, on the average, what is it, 6 to 8 years to turn a profit on an average business that you get into? This business will not make you a millionaire overnight, but you will start turning a profit on this business far faster with far less of an investment. Your investment to own your own LifeVantage franchise is $630. That's crazy. And basically you get back that in product and materials. So that it's a wash. There's literally no risk whatsoever to getting involved in this business. I remember coming home and telling my husband I was going to spend $630 on a business, and the worst thing that's going to happen is that we're going to get a lot healthier and I'm not going to make any money. That's the worst thing that can happen, because I've got all these products that I can give my family for several months before I ever run out. Now, not only do you get Protandim, but you get skincare, you get dog product, you get energy product, you get everything you could ever want to run your business, plus your own website to run your business for $630. And unlike many other direct sales companies, guess what? You don't have to stack a kabillion boxes in your garage. There's no stacking products. If you want to have a little extra energy product to share with other people, or you want to have a couple of extra skincare regimens to share with people, that's fantastic. That helps you grow your business, and I suggest you do that. But there's no requirement to do that. The other thing this company does that most other direct sales companies don't do is your monthly requirement that you have to spend yourself is $40. In most direct sales companies, it's hundreds of dollars to keep yourself in business. That can be really tough if you're really looking to get ahead quickly. Okay? So your investment is $630. What you have to pay each month yourself is $40. And if you go find yourself a handful of customers to take for a tandem, a customer to buy a skincare regimen, somebody who wants to buy energy products, all you need is $160 worth of business, aside from your own, that you personally enroll, and you've qualified for almost every bonus this company has. Not quite everyone, and I'll get to that in a moment. But that's a pretty darn good deal. And you can have your family on product for months before you ever have to buy more. That's a great deal. How do you make your money back? Well, you go and you tell this wonderful story, or really more importantly, you bring people to hear this wonderful story, and you say, come and listen. There's no harm in listening. No harm, no foul if it's not for you, but come and listen. Because I think this is a fantastic business opportunity. And you find 3 people who are willing to go out there and work with you. You make $210 for each of your first 3 people you bring into the business. There's your $630 back. I counted my product as my $630 back. But if you're talking about putting that $630 back in your pocket, that's how you get it back. What's beautiful about how this company works, they pay you weekly for those bonuses. So you can have that $630 back in your pocket by the next Friday. That's pretty good, right? On your 4th business partner that you sign up, you get a raise. The company starts giving you $260. And you get that going forward forever. In fact, right now, what's great is because they're really encouraging us to share this business with people, the company is giving us extra volume for signing up business partners all the way through the end of December. So it's absolutely an amazing time to get into this business and find yourself some wonderful business partners who want to do this with you. Start changing lives. And all we do in this business, I swear it's this easy, is duplicate. That's it. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't try to make yourself a fancy website. Don't try to place ads in the news. All you need to do is network. Open your mouth and talk to people and bring them to meetings. And if you do that, like I said, a minimum of 15 times a month, you're going to get a return on your investment, and really a big one. Because at the end of the day, what sets this type of business apart from your JOB is that you're not trading time for money anymore. In addition to making all those wonderful bonuses on bringing people in, this company gives us 30% of what we sell in product. The first time we sell a product is 30%. I want you to understand how special that is. In most direct sales companies, it's about 12 to 15%. That's a great percentage our company gives us for sharing product also. But at the end of the day, what makes this special is residual income. For all that product that we sell, and then people continue to purchase month after month, and why would you see something like that and not want to put that pill in your body every month? Or once you see the results of the skincare or the energy or whatever, you're going to want those products. And when you continue to share that over and over again, and people continue to buy it, you make a residual income off of that. A royalty income. Think of it like what a celebrity would make for selling their music, and people continue to buy their music and they continue to get percentages of that. That goes on forever for you. You do something once, and as long as people continue to take it, you make a residual income. At the very beginning, that's going to be a tiny part of your check. But eventually, that becomes the compounded penny. Okay? With every level that you go up in this company, you're doubling what you're making. That residual income is paid once a month. And that eventually becomes the largest part of your check. So your job is simply to connect people to those of us who can share the opportunity, and then we will train the people on your team to do the same thing. Training in this company is absolutely out of this world. How many of you guys came early tonight to hear about the Fast Start bonus from Carrie Bedard? Carrie, thank you for doing that. I am so happy that I have somebody on my team that can actually explain the Fast Start bonus goal. Just kidding. Not kidding, but kidding, not kidding. But I'm thrilled that Carrie took the time to do that. But we do that a lot for each other, and we work within teams in this business all the time. If any of you have ever done direct sales before, but you may say, gosh, you know, I just don't like all that competition. I'm going to tell you what, this company promotes working together. And we all work together within our teams. There's people in this room that are from every team within LifeVantage. And that's how we work. And they give us a wonderful incentive, not that we don't love each other, but they give us a wonderful incentive to keep doing that. And that is called the Elite Bonus Pool. There are 10 levels to our compensation plan. And one of the things this company does for us, which is also unique, is once we become elite distributors, levels 7 through 10, the company starts sharing with us global revenue every month. So that means not only are you paid on everything that your team does, now you're paid on everything that everybody in the entire company does. So do I have a big incentive to make this company successful and not just my own team? You bet I do. I want to see those sales go up. I want to see us get to be $1 billion company. I'm telling you, we're getting there, you guys. With all these incredible products that are coming out, we are getting there. So if you are in this room tonight and you are just hearing about this, you better thank the person who brought you here. Because I'm telling you, this is an opportunity like none you have ever seen in your life. I didn't even realize how big when I got in. I'm not sure Gabe did when he got in. I don't think we knew. But we did know we had a belief in the product, and we knew that that compensation plan that was in front of us was pretty darn good if we could take advantage of it. And what I want you to understand is, when you're looking at ground floor opportunities, when there's a ground floor opportunity by definition is when there's 125,000 distributors, okay? We have about 63,000 active distributors in this country right now. We are in the basement still of the ground floor. That is huge when you're looking at a direct sales opportunity. So all you have to do is get in and be consistent. Now you're going to hear some no's along the way. I didn't used to say this to people before they got in, okay? But I want you to understand you have to be a self-starter and you have to have some thick skin. All you need is a handful. I want you to keep focused on that. You're mining for that person that wants to change their life and the lives of others. That's what you're mining for. Because in this business, the more people you help, the faster you grow. Isn't that great? Isn't that so different from corporate America? The more people you help, the faster you grow. So we're making people healthier and wealthier as we go along. So I don't even know where I was going with that, but there was another point that I was going to make. What's that? Yeah, I was talking about ground floor, but I want you to understand how special that is. If you get in now, you are joining a group of people so small. I mean, there's only a handful of elites right now. You get in and swim hard and focus yourself, and you will get to the top of this company. I'm telling you, you will. LifeVantage has a goal of getting thousands of us to elite status. That sounds good to me, right? Right now, there's only a couple hundred. They want to get thousands there. And it's the perfect timing to do that. Every time we ever introduce a new product, our sales go crazy. We just released Energy. So take advantage of that. Get into this and share it with everybody you know. And I promise you, at the end of the day, you will look up and you'll find that you have yourself either a nice little extra stream of income, or if you're really willing to work for it, an income that will be something that will change your life and the lives of your children. So thank you for listening. I appreciate your time. And now if anybody wants to ask me any questions, I'll be glad to answer. Questions, you guys? Anybody have questions? Nobody? Yes, go ahead.
When you start taking it, does it detoxify it?
Well, you know, I think that if you look at dialing back the free radical damage in your body, you could certainly say that it does that. You know, if you think of the aging process as that process of free radicals bombarding your cells, and with this, if you look at that clinical trial and it says by average, oxidative stress loads will reduce by 40%. In that way, yes, in a very powerful way, you're doing that. Yes?
What was your strategy?
What was my strategy? My strategy was to escape from a world that was stressing me out. That was my strategy. So basically, but let me tell you a story, because I think this is important. I know what I was going to tell you now about the nose. I went to do a presentation in Australia a couple of months ago with a wonderful pro-9 by the name of Maria Williams. And she told a story that really, really changed my view of no. I've gotten my share of no's. But she said when she first got into this business that she took 100 people. She had a list of 100 people. And she divided it between herself and the woman who enrolled her. And they sat down one day and they each called 50 people. They got 99 no's. But the one yes was a doctor by the name of Mark Gordon, who is a cardiologist in Kansas City, who is now running hard toward Pro-10 underneath them in their business. Okay? They had 2 successes that night. They didn't give up. They got to that one yes, and they didn't cross him off the list just because he was a successful doctor. A lot of people go, you know, I'm not going to approach so-and-so because they already have money, or they wouldn't be interested in this. You have no idea on what level people have pain. Some of us just want to get out of the rat race. For some of us, it's not necessarily a monetary thing. For some of us, it's, I got to get out of the rat race. And I think you just can't assume about anybody that they're not ready for this. So my strategy, but I'll tell myself, when Gabe signed me up, I was so scared to open my mouth that for the first 6 months, I did nothing. I didn't know what to do. And it was finally, I had a conversation with Dr. Alice Reed. You guys know her, our fantastic Pro 7. And she said, what's the problem? Just open your mouth and tell people what you know. Educate them. Don't worry about selling anything. Get the sales thing out of your head. Because I kept telling myself, I'm not a salesperson. What are people going to think about me? What are people going to think if I try to sell them something? Educate people. That's what she said. And so when I changed my view, my goal was, now remember, I was still working at the TV station. I had to be completely under the radar. I could not use my name. I could not use my, I couldn't go out there on TV and say, hey, guys, come on, take Pro-10. There was none of that. So what I did was I found a handful of people that I approached. I'd say a handful, probably 30, 40 people that I approached. Of that 30 or 40, I probably got 5 or 6 that really wanted to work. And I helped those people build their business. And we did it through home meetings. They would have meetings in their home. I would come and present. And I got to tell you, for you guys that are in the business, if you're not having home meetings, shame on you. Because that's where your friends are going to be most comfortable. It's great to come here. Come here every week. It's awesome. But also invite your friends to come to your home so they can hear about this, in a place where they feel comfortable. And that's a big deal. I built my whole business up to Pro 7 by just doing meetings in the home. That was it. And that was my strategy. But what really got my butt going, to be perfectly honest, was when my boss called me in one day and told me he wanted me to give up my dinner break. This was in the middle of that whole awful economy, right? And it was the only time I ever got to see my kids. And I said, no. And he said, I'm not asking you. And I said, well, then give me something to sign. I'll resign right now because I'm not giving up the only time I see my kids. And I went home that night and I told my husband, I said, I better put my foot on the gas pedal here because my mouth just wrote a check that our finances can't catch. So there really is something to be said for desperation. So my strategy was to approach as many people as I could and to help those few people that I actually got engaged there at the beginning to find their 3 to 5. And then to help those people find their 3 to 5. And that's when I say duplication, that's really all it is. You don't need to go find yourself an army. People say, well, Donna, you know 1 million people. First of all, no, I don't. I just sat on the other side of a TV camera for 30 years, okay? But that's not the point. The point is we all know somebody, and we know family members that know somebody, and we make yourself a big list of everybody you know, and just start saying, listen, I have an opportunity I really want you to look at. And then bring them to one of these meetings. Bring them to hear somebody in your upline. Bring them to hear Gabe or me or Carrie or any of the other people in here that present. And then eventually you'll be doing the same thing, and you teach that duplication. But the big key is you cannot quit on no. That's the big key. And so if you have become discouraged because a few people have told you no, don't do that. You're going to hear no the whole time you're in this business. It doesn't matter. You can go back to those people when you're making a 6-figure salary and say, gosh, I sure wish you'd have joined me. And you know what? They probably will. So many of the people that didn't join my business at the very beginning came back to me after they saw that it was successful and said, what was that thing again? And now a lot of them are in my business. At first they thought I was crazy. They thought I was crazy to give up what I was doing to do this. But I knew that I had a better purpose in life than talking to people about rapes and murders. You know, I knew I had my foundations. I knew I had, you know, this whole wonderful opportunity to share health with people. And so the biggest thing you can do for yourself in this business is to build your belief. And you build your belief by continuing to attend things like this. We have premier schools once a month. Go for 4 hours out of your Saturday. Get yourself a big dose of belief. Because the more you educate yourself about what you're doing, the more you are going to believe. And the more you pick up that phone, as hard as it is, the lighter that phone becomes. Okay? I promise. Just do not quit and you will get there. All right, that's end of rant. Anybody else? Yes.
Is there any allergens in it?
No, not really. I mean, it's 5 natural ingredients. So it's green tea extract, turmeric, milk thistle, bacopa, and ashwagandha. They're 5 food ingredients.
How do you keep it fresh?
Well, they're cold pressed together, and they have an expiration date. But they're cold pressed products that are good for 2 years on the shelf. So I don't know what the other ingredients are that actually cold press the product right off the top of my head, but they're all on the bottle. But I haven't had anybody have a major allergic reaction to anything in this. Yes.
You said that when you first signed up, you didn't really do anything for 6 months. Did you sign up as a distributor?
Yeah, I did. I signed up as a distributor, and then I went.
But you didn't want to do anything to not do anything?
No, and that's the other thing. The thing is, I continue to pay my. Well, I'm going to tell you what Gabe did for me because he believed in me. I wanted to do it. I was just scared. I paid my $40, and he tossed me a couple of customers, and I built my business after that. But for a long time, it just sat there. And I like to share that just because I want you to understand if you're scared to open your mouth, you're not alone. It's like anything else. There's a learning curve. It's like a foreign language. And once you start to really learn it, it slows down for you. You start to hear the words. You start to feel natural in the process. But you don't. It's like anything else. If you go and you learn a foreign language and then you stop doing it for a little while, what happens? You forget everything you learned. And that's the same way with LifeVantage. If you don't do this on a daily basis, guys, and by daily, I don't mean you have to spend 10 hours a day with it. 30 minutes. Set yourself aside 30 minutes a day to make phone calls. That's it. Is that enough of an investment in yourself that you could do that? 30 minutes a day, make phone calls and connect people to your upline. That's what you have to do. And you're golden, I promise. Yes.
You said to contact, I think you said 15 people a month.
Mm-hmm.
Or does that include phone people? Or
Sure, it includes everything. My real point with that is don't put it down. That's really my point. Don't put it down. Don't pick it up and put it down. Because if you do, it's like, I'll give you another example. It's like exercise. You know, if you don't do it every day, you're not going to get in shape. So with this, you just have to do it all the time. And I think that really dissipates the fear factor. Because I really do think fear is what keeps most people in this business from being successful. It really does. You're so worried about picking up that phone or worried about the next person who's going to tell you no. Don't worry about it. All you need is a handful of good people. That's it. Remember that. Just a handful. Other questions? Well, guys, thank you so much for spending your time with us tonight. I really appreciate your time, and I hope if you're in the business that you get out there and start working it hard. And if you're just hearing about this tonight, get with the person who invited you, get yourself a Vantage Pack, get going, and start changing your life. Thank
I know. No, these ones are good. These ones are all the way out.
That wasn't all the way up. I'll tell you right now.
Is my service going?